I hope you're sharing it with people.
Well, when I take it out and someone looks at it and they don't have the courage to ask, you just kind of put a piece out and they'll go, thanks. So, Alan
Yes.
would do that every time. Like I would pull out
Oh yeah,
gum.
he'd
I
just
would
be
pull out
looking at
gum
you.
and like he'd like look at me. He would text me. He'd be like, "Can I have a piece?" I'm
No.
like, "Dude, just ask me."
Are you
Or like
serious?
I would have a piece in my mouth and he would catch it. Like he'd catch onto it and then he would text me and be like, "Do you have more gum?" I'm like, "No, it's in the car." And he's like, sad face. It's like, I'm sorry, I guess.
That's funny, dude.
Carry this gigantic thing in my back pocket.
Imagine it's just sticking out.
Nah. I usually just keep it in my backpack.
Speaking about back pockets, well, you know the back pocket of your car?
The trunk?
Yes.
Or also known as the boot?
Yes. The back pocket of your car, okay?
Is yours...
For
is this
example's sake.
Okay, I know what this is.
Okay, so I was out, I was at the store, and I had to get a couple things for somebody because I was doing a delivery, of course. And I have a watermelon and a cantaloupe and then some other stuff. So I put them in the trunk.
Are you doing grocery delivery now?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get a grocery delivery order.
Through DoorDash?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought
And
it
typically,
was always like through like Vaughn's you had to do that. Or like
yeah, it's
Uber
like,
has like that too, but I didn't know DoorDash did it.
yeah, there's like a couple of places like CVS, Walgreens,
Okay.
Pavilions, Albertsons, all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Anyways, so I start driving and I take this real hard, and I just hear goo-goo, goo-goo, goo-goo. I'm like, ooh, let me just pull over into the parking lot real quick. Let me make sure the watermelon's not just splattered all across the boot of my car.
At least bludgeoned.
You're right? Yeah, it's pre-softened, so if they want to cut into it,
Ooh.
no. So I check, and thank God,
That was fine.
I'm like, are there any cracks on here? Nothing.
Little piece
Perfect.
of green tape.
So I take the watermelon and the cantaloupe and I just put it in my front seat, like in my passenger seat.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You got too much
There
room.
was this other guy. What?
You got too much room in your trunk.
Yeah, I had too much room, and the thing is, it's like I had to make sure I tucked it in. I put the seatbelt on it. I even put a little blanket on it just to make sure it was safe. And there was this guy. Actually I was picking up from Red Robin. That's a restaurant,
Red Robin,
right?
yeah, it's a restaurant. I haven't
Yeah.
been there in like 10 years, but yeah.
I don't
it's
think
still
I've
a
ever
thing.
been there. I think maybe one time. Anyways, so there's this guy, and bro, I'm looking at him. I'm like, there's something not right here. His hair is so long. It's down to like here,
Yeah.
at least.
Pretty normal for some
But
dudes.
he's bald in the middle,
Yeah.
and it's just flowing from the
Yeah.
sides.
You've never seen a dude with like it's the bald cap?
It's the bald mullet, bro.
Well, yeah, but like you've never seen. Usually, the people that have hair like that don't grow it that long. Usually, they have like the short bit that just goes around the top of their head.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen that
No,
before.
I've never
of
seen a
course.
person to have that grown out. That's a little
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
You should just take
and
the
I was
long
like,
hair and then throw it over the top, and then we'll cover the bald bit.
Yeah, come over.
Make some bangs.
But it was kind of ridiculous, But more power to him. If he's like,
He's
hey, my
trying
hair,
to cling on to all of the hair. that
he's just
he
trying to
doesn't
click
have
onto it.
left.
Exactly.
Just get a toupee.
Hey man, he just needs that top part, and then he's
Just
rocking
get a
it.
toupee like every other elderly person that wants to cling on to their hair.
He wasn't elderly, bro. He was maybe like 40 max.
Still,
he was
there are
kinda young.
Okay. My cousin got a really bad receding hairline in high school, so it's pretty normal.
Some people get it in high school,
Really
even,
bad,
which is
And
crazy.
he's been doing buzz cut ever since. Now he's just shaving his head.
Dude, that sucks.
Well, it's like Jason Statham. That's why he cut his hair.
If I ever went bald, bro, you don't want to see me bald.
Now I'd be wearing a hat every day.
Dude, you don't want to see me
I
bald
mean,
because
yeah,
the
no.
thing is, I went pretty bald. I went pretty bald, like buzz cut, like super small buzz cut when I would join the army, bro. When they first took that hair off, I was not pretty, bro. It was not a good sight.
Yeah,
was,
I don't have a good shape. Like,
Dude, I kind
head.
of look like an alien.
My head is shaped like my skull is shaped like the skull from Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
it's the one that goes like this, and then
It's the really long. It's like really long. It's almost like an oval.
oh that okay.
I'll show
Yeah,
you.
no, I was thinking about something else.
Crystal Skull. It's like
Crystal
super
skull.
long, and like the way that it's like angled is like how the top of my head is angled.
Really?
Yeah, it's like my head like goes like that.
Oh, what?
Like it's not like up and then straight. It's like a little bit of like a slant up. It's weird.
No, I mean,
But the thing
I
is,
could
it's
see
like
that.
when I do my hair, it's like a perfect flat top because
Mhm.
whatever's in the front just goes right up high enough to meet the back.
I see.
So I get like this perfect angle. Oh my
Interesting.
gosh. Simba's choking again, everybody. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like if you were to go bald,
there we go.
you'd look like an
I
alien.
just sent it to you. Oh, but
If I were to go bald,
like
I'd
just
look
look
like
at
an
this.
alien.
Like, oh gosh, I look like Biff from Back to the Future. But like,
Biff.
that's the angle of my head.
Oh yeah,
So like, it's
you definitely,
it's
you
like
definitely do look like
yeah,
that.
it's like a weird flat. It's on the screen. It's like a weird flat like front that like didn't like. I don't know. It's weird.
He was dropped on his head as a baby, guys.
Who knows? Actually, I'm liking my hair right now. Sure.
That's what gave it that poof. It's because you were dropped right there, and it's just like
Yeah, actually, I'm not
permanent
liking
poof. Yeah, maybe put the hat back on.
it. Yeah, Funhouse.
Funhouse.
Funhouse hat. Funhouse shirt. Funhouse sweats.
Funhouse life. How about that?
Funhouse. Shout out Funhouse.
Shout out
Shout out
Funhouse. Speaking about funhouses,
Are you gonna talk about spooky, scary mazes at amusement parks? Because those are fun houses.
oh, yeah, we got invited to one.
Yeah,
and
it's tomorrow. I can't go.
I can't
My
either.
sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Madison.
Oh, happy birthday, Madison. That's interesting. I mean, how old is she turning?
25? 26?
25.
26?
You have no idea.
No, I don't. It's okay. I don't know the age of anybody in my family.
You don't even know how old your mom and dad are?
I know they're in their 50s, late 50s.
Really?
My dad's 58. My mom's 56. I don't know.
Dang.
They're 2 years apart. I know that.
Your mom is like 10 years older than my mom.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Cool.
Anyways,
Them Hungarian
Yeah.
girls be having babies young.
I mean, yeah, it was a small village, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like not much else to do.
Compared to thriving Yorba Linda for my mother and
Yorba
Yorba
Limba.
Limba, thriving Yorba Linda in the 90s compared to a thriving La Mirada for my father in the 90s.
Hey man,
And then
you
you
gotta do
move
what
to
you gotta
Anaheim
do.
and you have a kid. And then another one.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yep.
I want like 5 though.
I feel
I need to
sorry
start
for all
soon.
your children.
I know, right?
Did you say I need to start soon?
Yeah. I mean, in the next couple of
Why?
years, probably. I mean, I don't want to be an old fart when I start having kids.
Stay in shape and stay active.
Well, I mean,
Bro, my
yes.
grandfather is like 81 and he works around the house every day and builds shit all the time.
Yeah,
Climbs up
I
them
mean,
ladders. He's really active. It's great.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
Got
And with
all his
modern
hair. He's
medicine-
not bald.
Heck yeah, dude. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about getting bald, right? Or is that from your mom's side?
That's my mom's side, which is, I'm pretty confident that's where my hair is from.
Interesting. Why would it be from your mom's side? It doesn't make any sense.
My like facial features match my mom and my mom's side, and then from like the neck down, like my figure is very reminiscent of my father at his age. We have the same walk, everything.
Interesting how that works.
Yeah. interesting
I wonder.
combinations.
Yeah, I wonder what mine's like.
I don't know.
You know,
I haven't hung around your family that much to know.
me either.
Touche.
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 So,
what are we
talking
about?
what are we talking about?
Hey, what are we talking
You
about?
wanna
My name's
intro
Eddie
us?
Brock. Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
he's not even from New York.
No, he's not. He's from San Francisco.
At least in the
Or
movies.
Detroit. Or whatever. Yeah, in the movie. In that movie. So,
Bro.
what?
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, what?
You wanna
Yeah,
intro
hi
us?
guys. Hi everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to episode 20. Number 20. Hey.
Number 20.
Number-
Holy crap.
Viete. Right? That's 20 in
Viete.
Spanish, right? Viete.
20. I think it's
Ven-
20.
It's 20. That is. It's 20. Viete. That's nothing. I don't even know what that is. It is 20.
That's a mixture of 20 and 7.
Yes.
Viete, like
yes,
siete.
Yeah, that's right. That's
But
yeah.
like 20.
I knew it was like V something like Vien. Because I wanted to say vientate, which means.
Vientate.
Doesn't that mean something in
don't-
Spanish?
Probably
Maybe I'm
like
just
the 20th.
mixing up 20 and 7 and 17. Siéntate.
Who knows?
Doesn't siéntate?
Siéntate is
That's
sit down, I think.
That's what I'm mixing sit with 20 and getting vientate. But it's just 20.
Oh, nice.
Episode 20 of the K where we talking about podcast.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Welcome, guys. Speaking of Eddie Brock, hey, I'm from San Francisco, but my accent's so all over the place. Eddie Brock, we saw Venom, Let There Be Carnage last night.
It's a good thing you're not a voiceover artist.
I don't. Hey, the VO community is a thriving community that I would not be ashamed to be a part of and would love to.
Yeah, but
But I'm not for reasons
you're,
that
for
are
reasons,
very
yeah.
well shown in my voices.
yes, but we did go see Venom 2. Numero dos.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yes.
Interesting title choice, but whatever.
Why is it interesting?
It's like, it seems kind of cringy.
It is a little bit cringy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Let there be
Let
carnage.
There Be Carnage. Like, they could have
Did
just
you-
called it Venom 2 Carnage. Or they could have just called it Carnage.
Do you remember the part? You remember the part where he screams "Let there be carnage"?
Yeah.
And then the whole theater just boomed.
I don't remember the theater booming. Like the audience or like the speakers?
The speakers,
Okay.
bro.
Okay.
It was so loud.
I don't. That move. No, the volume in that.
That was
theater
the loudest part of the film.
Yeah, the volume in that theater was all over the place. It was not high enough during a lot of scenes, especially action. Like, it seems like they mixed it down really odd, but whatever.
But yeah,
For a movie
It was
called, I have a lot of gripes with this movie, and I have a lot of things I enjoyed. It's gonna be a big mix. But since we're on the topic of the title, called Let There Be Carnage, there was not that much carnage in the movie.
you're kind of right.
If you think
You're kinda
about
right.
it, there wasn't there wasn't much carnage as in the character, and there wasn't much carnage as in the act of carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
Like, I have a
didn't-
feeling this movie was only
They kind of streamlined.
exactly.
They streamlined everything.
The movie was
to
only
a
an
certain
hour and a
point.
half. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of this movie was cut down.
It probably
Just
was.
the way that it turned out, because there's a lot of connecting pieces that are like, okay, we're here now. Okay, we're here now. Or they
Yeah.
immediately figure things out.
Mhm.
I have a feeling there is the scene where Eddie goes to the St. Estes home for unwanted
Mhm.
children or whatever.
Yeah, and
And
then
he
he doesn't go
he
inside.
goes inside the gate and finds a tree to get the initials
there in
of
front
the
of him.
chick. I have a feeling there was probably a whole section or sequence in the movie where he creeps through the really scary, empty, like,
Mhm.
old orphanage or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just cut out, and then they reshot it, and he found the tree with the initials, and that's all they needed.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, it was the first tree that he happened
Yeah,
to
the
find.
one tree that he walks up to after walking through an unlocked gate. It was abandoned, so whatever. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
St. Estes, home for unwanted children. But in the comics, it is St. Estes, home for boys, or it's like home for boys or something. It's not. It's only boys. So what's her name would have never been there.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Shriek. Yeah, it was an interesting movie.
All right. What else you have to say? 'Cause
No,
I'm
but like
curious.
it's generally I enjoyed the wackiness. Like this is a movie where you turn off your brain and just have fun with whatever they're trying to do. Because if you think
Mhm.
about it, like how I think about it, it's like this. I feel like there was a lot
Okay,
that was
I have a
gone.
question. I have a question.
Yes.
So, I haven't seen the first Venom.
Yes.
So I didn't know like what Venom was gonna be like.
Yes.
He was a lot funnier
Yes.
than I expected him to be.
He is not that funny in the first one.
Okay. I was like, there's
Because
there
at this
must be
point
something.
they have a relationship, and it's like a
Mhm.
it's like a odd couple movie.
Yeah.
Or like a buddy movie. But like in the first
Yeah.
one, when they first get to it's not as funny. Venom is the humor in both movies, but Eddie is just more like depressed and upset and just kind of out of it and just like done with everything.
Yeah, what is Eddie's deal all the
Eddie
time?
just always seems to fuck up. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what it seemed like.
Yeah. But that's pretty much that's like his shtick. He always looks like shit, which I like. He's not.
You
It's
like
not
that?
the superhero movie where like there's no pointless shirtless scene.
Mhm.
He always looks like trash because he's constantly going from place to place. Like he's sweaty, his shirt is destroyed, like and disgusting.
True.
There are no, especially in the first one, he looks like a heroin addict. Because he's
Wow.
going
I
crazy
need to
because he
watch
hears the voice in his head first and he's going insane pretty much and he doesn't know what's happening.
Mhm.
So like he's like a heroin addict. Like the way that he acts, like he's like how he's kind of schizophrenic. Like at the beginning of this one, he was kind of still like that, kind of schizophrenic and like talking to
Yeah.
himself. He's more of that in the first one with less of the humor.
Mhm.
And then I think what they did was they took all the critiques from the first movie and they completely flipped it. So this one, there was a lot more humor, like with Venom, which people said they enjoyed more, so they went more to that instead of like the weird schizophrenia that Eddie had.
Mhm.
So like, Tom Hardy did have a story credit on this one, which he didn't on the first.
Mhm.
So he had a lot
Yeah,
of
I
say
saw
in what
that.
the story would be, and he went on interviews many times saying it's like he really took the critiques from the audiences to heart, and like really wanted to form what they liked into the second one, which is what it was. People liked Venom more as the funny, and it was kind of just a wacky movie to watch Tom Hardy talk to himself for an hour and a half, which is what it turned out to be. So
Yeah.
I can enjoy it in that aspect. Like watching Tom Hardy is fantastic. He's always great in the things that I've seen him in, and in Venom he does a good job because he plays off himself.
Yeah.
I don't know
of
if you
course.
know that he is
do you mean?
also the voice of Venom.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He's the voice of Venom, and the way that they did it in the first movie, so I would assume they did it in this one, is that he pre-recorded all of his Venom lines, and then he wore
Mhm.
an earpiece, and there was pretty much a guy off camera holding with some sort of computer or whatever, and then Eddie would say his lines, and the guy would play the response line that he recorded as Venom, and he would hear it in his ear. So he was playing
Mhm.
off of his own recordings so he could do the full scene.
Oh, that's actually
Yeah.
pretty sick.
So I assume they did that again. And then Woody Harrelson, his voice, I assume is the voice for Carnage because it sounded kind of similar to his little twang that he has.
Mhm.
He was great in this. I
Yeah.
enjoy Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson's cool.
I hate saying this repeatedly, but it's usually what it is for movies like this. Is I can't blame the actors. I have to blame the writers.
Yeah, yeah, because
But
actors are
in
great.
this case, actually no, he didn't have a writing credit. He had a story credit.
Yeah, that's what
So
you
I
said.
can't blame Tom Hardy for the writing. Um, but I don't know how many things he's actually written either. So I mean, story credit versus writing credit is very different.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also a producer, so he does still have a lot of say. So
Nice.
I could keep going about things that I wasn't a fan of, but you should speak as well.
I want to hear what you
Okay,
have your
then I'll
thoughts
just
on though.
I'll keep going. I made notes.
You can keep going,
I
bro.
will.
Like
I'll made
honestly,
notes. Let me look
I
at
wanna
my
I wanna hear
notes.
all your thoughts because the
Okay.
thing is, I don't know as much as you do because you did see the first one as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's
And
not
then
much to really like. There's no real connection besides the ending scene of the first one. The only thing
okay,
that you
okay.
don't get is his relationship with Venom and how they meet in the first one. The villain in the first one has no connection at all to this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then his relationship with his ex-fiancée,
True.
which was more recent of a breakup in the first one. So the
Yeah,
relationship is a little different. But
I feel you.
this movie literally picks up within like the scene that ends in the first movie.
Okay.
So you can watch them
That's
back to
nice.
back. The only difference is at the end of the first movie, Woody Harrelson has like red curly hair, like a wig,
Interesting.
and then they made it better. Like you could obviously tell it was a wig. It was really bad. So like they gave him like the red, just kind of like it was a red wig. It wasn't like ginger hair. It was
Yeah.
just like a red wig, like red curly hair. It looked way more
I need to
red.
look this
It
up.
was
I need
weird.
to look this up.
Yeah, just type in Cletus in Venom 1. It looks really. I mean, it's a bad wig. Who is Carnage?
Oh yeah, that looks.
Yeah, it's a really. Yeah, see?
Does not look good.
No. He didn't say the one line I really enjoyed in the trailer. He also he didn't do the smile from it. But in the trailer, it's the scene where he's like this. This is where he is when he's in the cell, like when they first introduce him.
Yeah.
In the trailer, he's like, "Hello, Eddie Brock. I missed you so much." And then there's this weird pause on him, and he does a smile. It's really good, but they didn't keep it in the movie, so I was waiting for that moment because I enjoyed it. But
It's okay. Not everybody can be a film critique like you.
it's not it's just the shot that I enjoyed from the trailer that they didn't use. This is the one thing that I thought was funny. I saw a lot of people comparing, especially this movie, to Ratatouille.
Really?
Because a lot of times Venom is just controlling Eddie as Eddie.
True.
So like that was not really a thing in the first. He did not just control Eddie. He didn't make him like draw all the sketches or whatever. It was like a Ratatouille kind of like shtick that I thought was funny because like they wanted to make it funny, so they did all that stuff. But
yeah,
I thought it was funny. People were pointing that out. I thought it looked really good.
it did look really nice.
The CG for Venom was way better than it was in the first one, and then Carnage looked amazing.
Dude, Carnage looked insane.
I liked his design. I think he could have been a little bit more bright red, but that's just my opinion. And when you're in a movie that constantly takes place at night, it's kind of hard to get good bright lights on people. But it also makes CG look better when it's at night and in dark light.
There you go.
And it helps when you have like
so
the god of CG and mocap as your director.
Andy Serkis. Mr. Golem himself. My precious.
I don't know how much he's actually done like directing. Let's
I feel like he's done a couple of things at least.
Probably, but I don't know if he's done anything like on this scale. Let's take a look at his filmography. Filmography.
Andy Serkis.
Director. He's directed 5 things. Oh, that's right. He directed the Mowgli movie for Netflix.
Oh, nice.
That was good, but
Yeah.
I mean that was less of that was an adaptation from Jungle Book of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did a movie called Breathe. I remember that movie. That was with Andrew Garfield. He was a dramatic director for a video game in 2007 called Heavenly Sword.
Never heard of it.
And then a TV
Sounds like
movie
an Asian game.
called The Ruins of the Empire. The Ruins of Empires. I don't know.
He also played in Planet of the Apes, right?
Yeah, but he didn't direct.
But he played in it.
Yeah, he was Caesar.
He was the monkey.
He was Caesar. He was also
Main
King
monkey.
Kong in Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Really?
The one with Jack Black.
The one with Jack Black?
The King Kong movie with Jack Black. Have you not seen that King Kong movie?
The King Kong movie
Yeah,
with Jack Black.
this version of King Kong made by Peter Jackson. If you've ever been to the Universal Studios tram tour.
Oh, yeah.
It's that version of King Kong. Yeah, Jack Black is like...
Yeah.
He's like a filmmaker, and he wants to go to this island to, like, document or he's not a filmmaker, he's like an entertainer of some kind or whatever, and he wants to document the island and record it and, like, sell it, and then they capture Kong, and he sells it. He's like an entertainer kind of thing. Like a showmaker.
Heck yeah, dude.
But yeah, he was the mocap for King Kong in that movie. I thought he did a decent job with directing this. Again,
I think it looked good.
Yeah, look, obviously he's gonna have great connections with effects and CG and knowing where resources need to be put in those departments because he's the godfather of CG and mocap right now.
Yeah.
So obviously it's gonna look good. I think where the movie hindered from him was some of the direction in some of those scenes just seemed very flat.
For example?
For example, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pointless.
True.
Again, that's more of a writing thing, but like even the way that he's portrayed and like shown just is like at first, okay, so I'm
they even mentioned it.
Yeah, it's like no one likes you. No, I don't. Get him out of the movie. Because this guy Dan is gonna find some, like a lighter and a thing of gas and start pouring it on the Carnage. Like, how? Come on. That's just lazy writing, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan of Dan. It was like, you first learn, oh, she's remarried. I'm like, oh, I like Eddie. He's gonna be a douchebag. And then like, no, you're supposed to like him. And then no, he sucks. And then no, you like him again. And then you say goodbye in the rain. But whatever. I think he did a good job for what he was given script-wise. Also, he hasn't directed much, so it's probably the biggest movie he's ever made as a director. And it's better than whatever the fuck I could direct, so.
I mean, 100%, dude. I couldn't direct.
I hate it. I hate directing. I've had to do it. I hate it. Just give me the footage and I'll put it together, and then that's all I need, please. I don't like it. Do you know about that?
What don't you like about it?
No, I don't like it. I don't like it.
What does that mean?
That's Chris Evans. Chris Evans always says that.
Why?
From like his nephew like pronounces like L's with W's, so he says, I don't like it. And if you watch interviews with Chris Evans and he'll say like, oh, he doesn't say I don't like it. He says I don't like it. Like he just kind of mutters it under his breath. Like he says it like just like for his nephew, like he just mentions it now and then. It's funny. What I don't like about directing, I don't care to lead a scene and lead actors. It's not my thing. I don't like interpreting scripts and like trying to portray a full vision that way. my niche is in like finding the gems in the footage and in the scenes afterwards.
Yeah.
That's where I fit in more. Like I'd rather be a DP than a director.
What's a DP?
Director of photography, cinematographer.
I see.
Oh.
So will you be the one capturing the shots then?
DP?
Or how does that work?
It depends on the DP. Some like to be the one on the camera. Some like to like have like a first AC, which is first assistant camera, or second AC, second assistant camera. Like they help the DP. Most of the time they'll be the one on the camera. Sometimes they won't. Just depends on each person. They all work differently. Some directors are their own DP, and they know exactly what they want, and they just carry the camera around themselves.
Oh, nice.
Snyder did that on Army of the Dead, his last movie that he just made, the zombie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was his own DP, so he just kind of walked around with one single camera the whole time.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the one with Batista, right?
Yeah.
I've yet to watch
there's a prequel coming out about
for that movie.
Yeah, it's about the safecracker.
The safecracker.
Yeah. Directed by the actor that plays the safecracker.
Oh, that should be interesting then.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing.
Dieter Ludwig.
Ludwig
Ludwig is the
von
character.
Beethoven.
That's the character's name.
Mm-hmm.
The actor's name is Matthias, and I don't remember his last name, and I probably couldn't pronounce it anyway.
So there's a scene at the end.
Yes. Are you already cutting to the after credit scene?
No, we have to go through a couple things before
Exactly.
we do
I'm
that.
like, wait, we have other things to discuss.
I know. I wanted to ask about it because I'm curious about it, but
We can ask about it eventually. That'll be a longer discussion. I know it will.
So, I mean, it was kind of okay when he got bit.
Yeah.
Why did he get like a little
bit of symbiote?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, that doesn't make it didn't really make sense to me why he got it through his blood. You know.
Yeah.
Is Venom inside Eddie Brock's blood, or what?
Okay, so what? Carnage is the offspring of Venom.
Right.
Which is like at the end they had the whole joke of "You are going to die, father," and then he says, and they look at the priest and he's like, "Not you, father, you."
Oh,
father.
but he did anyways.
Yeah,
he's like,
he freaking ate his
power
head.
up.
Yeah. Did he say power up? What did he say?
He said power up.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He literally said power up. I was like, wow, that's cringe.
Yeah. So, Carnage is literally just a piece of Venom. Literally
Yes,
just
of
like
course.
a piece of Venom that comes off or whatever. So it was, my comic knowledge is telling me that I remember it correctly. There was a prison break where Cletus was being held, and a piece of the symbiote was like left behind after Venom left, or I can't remember. But that piece of symbiote that was left merged with Cletus through an injury. So like through like blood of an injury, like through his cut or whatever, and it merged with Cletus, which is why it's red, because it was merged through blood.
Right.
So like the
And
bite
also,
was a weird way to do it, and it just seemed like they did it because they just wanted it to be quick.
yeah. Yeah, it didn't make any sense either why he like grabbed him and bit him. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that was like the only thing he could do to like attack him
In that
I guess.
moment, yeah. I mean, I feel like they could have had like Shriek try and like break him out, maybe, or like she gets out and she tries to break him out, and then during the prison break he gets injured, and then Eddie has to stop it, and then a bit of Venom is left behind, and then it gets into his cut and it merges with him, and then they go to the what's it called, the death sentence, and then he has his transformation, which I thought that scene was cool, and his whole breakout was really fun.
Yeah.
And how like
Also,
the injection goes into his arm, and then the
and then
blood
it goes back up the tube.
stops it, and it shoots back out the other way. Like I thought that was neat. And then like his
Yeah.
transformation was really cool.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they were missing is like the R rating. Like
Yeah,
if they went
yeah.
R, they could have like they always cut away
Lop
whenever
some
he
heads
bit a
off.
head off. They always
Yeah.
cut away. Or like his
Yeah, they could've lopped
transformation
some
could have
heads
been
off.
way more like creepy and like
Yeah.
deranged.
Gross.
Yeah, like because
Yeah.
the body would just kind of like Jello morph. Like he would have
Mhm.
some weird contortions, but then his face would just end up like Jello morphing into Carnage.
Mhm.
Which I thought like if they went hard R, they could have done some really cool shit. But
Yeah, you never want to go hard R though.
no, you do. If you're Logan, you do. Have you seen Logan?
Yeah, I was just making a
No,
different joke.
I know, but I want to make sure. Have you seen Logan?
I've seen Logan. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. But like, hey, a superhero, quote unquote superhero movie that goes hard R or hard. Yeah, it was hard R. Oh, it was very hard R. But like they took the chance with it. Hugh Jackman took a pay cut because the studio didn't want them to do R, and he said he would take a pay cut in case they had losses to do the R version. The R version.
Dang. Yeah, the region.
Oh, because I wanted to say rating, and I mixed rating and version together. My brain's doing great today. There was something I wanted to say about the morphing. The way that he morphs is like, it's like this combination of like, because Carnage is like its own entity with Cletus in it, so it's like when Carnage morphs, it turns Cletus into Carnage and they become one thing, compared to like when Venom does it, it's just like a shield over Eddie. So like when he opens, because like Eddie does a thing like it wraps around his face, and like he'll open his face and you see Eddie's inside. But like with Carnage, he like envelops Cletus and like they become like this one form, and like you see him like when he's reaching out or he's trying to do these other things, because they're just one entity. They're not like this combination. So I thought that was really interesting, and like you could see it in like the breakout scene when they're shooting it at Carnage and it just splits his body open and the bullets go through because they're one thing. They're not separate. So like Venom can't just split open to miss Carnage's tendrils or like tentacles or whatever at the end, was where he gets beat to shit from. But like Carnage will say I, because they're one entity, and then Venom will say we. He always says we are Venom, or it's like, because it's both of them together. But Carnage is always just the one. So I don't know. I like that idea of how, or that concept of how it shows the differences between Carnage and Venom. But I thought it was interesting, and it looked cool that way too, with the morphing into Carnage instead of Venom instead of how Venom does like the enveloping around Eddie. It's like a cool difference in playback.
I had a question about why is Carnage so much stronger than Venom? Do you know anything about that?
I don't have enough knowledge of Venom comic lore. I just kind of know the origins of Carnage. There are 50 million different symbiotes that I have no idea of.
Wouldn't it make sense if it's like an offspring, an offshoot of Venom, that it would be weaker because it's just a portion of him?
Yeah.
So it did not make any sense to me why it was stronger. Significantly stronger, by the way.
Yeah, he was quite larger than Venom as well.
I loved his tendrils, like all his tentacles or whatever they were.
Yeah.
They were just like flailing about, and they had like these sharp things on them. And they're just
pincers.
Like, dude, and when he did the
like
tornado
thing, yeah, I was like, okay, Andy Serkis knows what he's doing. He knows what to do with Carnage. He's doing some cool shit, and then Venom just jumps and punches. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Venom.
Yeah, Carnage is definitely cooler if we're looking at the abilities he has.
Yeah.
And how did he? I don't even know how he won. Like Carnage could have just he could have easily.
Yeah, I mean that obviously I have a feeling that was a reshoot, like for an ending. Like they made the ending just end quicker, get that fight over with. That fight was kind of short. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it felt like.
as far as like the strength basis of it, I think the way that it works was it's like an evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So like Carnage is the offspring of Venom, but Carnage has an offspring called Toxin,
Yeah, Toxin.
who is like the strongest of them. So like each offspring gets stronger and stronger and seems to have more abilities, which would make sense to why Venom couldn't do a lot, like physically with his stuff. Yeah, it's kind of backwards. So speaking of Toxin, Detective Mulligan.
Mm-hmm. He becomes Toxin.
He is Toxin. Yes.
He is Toxin.
He gets a piece of Carnage, like bound to him. That's like his eyes did like the glowy shit or whatever.
The glowing, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose to do that, but that's what they chose because Detective Mulligan does become Toxin. That is a canon thing.
Yes.
And he is not as evil as Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
From what I can remember, he's more of like an anti-hero like Venom.
Yeah.
So like they work together to defeat Carnage sometimes. Like it's weird. But Toxin is a lot more powerful than both of them. So like the evolution is like backwards.
Huh.
But like they had like the one like catch-all to say that no, Venom is stronger is because Venom and Eddie have a stronger bond, that they're more symbiotic than Cletus.
They merge more.
Which is like incorrect in comic form, I think. Carnage and Cletus have more of a bond because Carnage is like the rage bit of Venom, or I can't remember how it works. So like their rage and Carnage works better together because it's like just more of the evil bit of Venom. I can't remember how it works. It's something similar. But speaking of that moment when he's like, "Look at them, they're not symbiotic. We're stronger. We're better. Lethal protectors," that's like Venom's tagline is lethal protector. Which is why they kept saying it. But like the bit where he's like not strong enough and he has to push the cement off of himself. Do you remember Spider-Man? Have you seen Spider-Man Homecoming? Tom Holland's first Spider-Man movie?
I think I have, yeah.
Do you remember the moment like he's fighting Vulture at the end or whatever? And like a building collapses on him and he's like looking in the water. And he's like, "Come on, Spider-Man, you could do it." He's like talking himself up, and like he pushes like the building off of him or whatever, like the whole big pieces of concrete slabs off of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think that was just a callback to that because he does the same thing.
It could have been, yeah.
He does the same thing, and Eddie's just hyping Venom up.
Speaking of callbacks,
yes,
I totally forgot that they had done a Venom in Spider-Man 3
I was gonna get that. Yeah, there's more Spider-Man callbacks, yeah.
Dude, holy crap.
Like the whole bit with like them slamming into the bell tower.
Yeah.
Is like that's Spider-Man 3. That's the same thing that Tobey's Spider-Man did to get the symbiote off of him, was constantly slamming into that bell tower. And then for some reason Eddie Brock is in the same church down below and the symbiote just falls on the Eddie. And that's how it happens in that movie. Whatever.
So I rewatched that scene.
Oh yeah.
You know,
yeah.
In anticipation for today.
Hey, that movie's got some great music though.
Hey, I'm not knocking the movie, bro. I'm not knocking the movie necessarily, but it was just a different time back then.
Oh yeah.
It was, I mean, 2007, bro. That was 14 years ago.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
But like those honestly, the first few Spider-Mans, those will always be classics.
The first Spider-Man movie came out.
Hate on it as much as you want. Probably, I think
it was 2001, 2002, because I remember the first poster they released was like his profile face looking off, and the Twin Towers were in the lens reflection. And it was the movie was shot before the attack, but was released, I think, after it.
After?
So that poster is like super rare and super sought after because it has the towers in the lens reflection.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So it's a really dope poster that you don't really see anymore, or that's like really famous for that movie. But the second one is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like people want to hate on those movies.
I've just like watched, like they were on TV the other day. They're like, it's fun to sit through and be like, this is just fun cheesiness because it's just so
It
cheesy.
is pretty cheesy.
It's fun though. Like
It
it's
is
like
fun.
I laugh at it. Like the
Yeah.
love relationship between Toby and between Peter and Mary Jane. It's like it's funny. It's a funny
It's
love.
kind
It's
of
like cheesy.
toxic, bro.
Oh, it's real cheesy. Like
it's real
she's so toxic. She's such a
so
horrible
toxic.
like relationship partner for whoever she was with. She always like just kept. I don't know, she was weird.
Yeah.
But, the third callback to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Do you remember? I assume you've seen both of them.
Yes.
Remember the scene where Gwen is falling? And
Yes.
She's dying, and like she's hanging, and then the shot looks down to the bottom of the ground, and then she starts to go down. The same thing happened with, I don't remember her freaking name, the blonde. In Venom,
Anne, right? Was that her name, Anne?
Anne. I wanted to say the actress's name. But yeah, they have that same kind of shot, so like it's a callback to that Spider-Man as well. So like they're paying like callbacks and homages to all of them, which is convenient for how the after credit scene went. But before we get there, there's one more pointless thing in this movie, which is the love relationship between Cletus and Shriek.
Okay. Tell me why.
I think it's pointless. Like, there was no carnage. There was love. Like, oh, come on. Like, I think this movie could have been just a fun, like, evil guy needs to be stopped by anti-hero hero instead of complicated, like, revenge, love, triangle, like, climax.
Well, okay. I liked the fact that she was in it. The reason why is because of the contrast between.
Go ahead.
The contrast between like her being Shriek and like having this sound ability.
That's her only reason being in this movie was to kill Carnage at the end.
Yeah, and then
or to stop Carnage at the end. She didn't kill him, but
yeah, and then him having the symbiote.
Yeah, like
symbiote.
I think this move. Like I think it could have worked. Symbiote. Yeah, they fixed it in this one. In the first one, they kept saying symbiote. Like the scientist kept saying, it's like, come on now, pay respect. But like, I think if this movie had the 30 minutes or whatever that cut out, it could have made more sense. I think the problem with a lot of this movie is just that it just jumps and jumps and jumps and jumps around to like, okay, we're here.
I noticed that.
This is a problem. It's immediately fixed. Okay, now we're here.
Kind of rushing the story.
Yeah, it was. I have a feeling a lot was cut out and cut around just to shorten it and move on.
It did seem like that.
Yeah,
it really did seem like that.
Like the first Venom movie had like 43 minutes cut out of it or something like that. It had a lot cut out.
And there's, you know what doesn't make sense is people want this stuff. Like, why don't they just give it to them?
That's because the studios are fucking idiots.
Like, people want the longer movies for these superhero films.
It's not that they want the longer movies; is that they want the fleshed out, thoughtful
they want the story
that is thoughtful and not rushed. But the studio, don't get me wrong, some studios are good, and some studio executives know what they're doing. But the stereotype and the con of a studio is that they don't give a shit about the source material or the story. And all they care about is the money that they're going to get from it.
The moolah, baby.
And however, like, they can market it for, like, trailers or whatever. So it's like,
bro.
You need studios that can back their creators better than what we have right now. And there are very few that do that. And to be able to do that, you need to be a very reputable creator to be backed by them.
And then that back the craft, man. It's not just about money, man. It's
movies. It's called movies by committee.
Yeah.
It's movies like by the studio. So, but I think it's just because the studio just wants to get to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Quicker than they should, which is the weird bit because the first Venom movie without Spider-Man doesn't make any sense. Because Venom always interacts with Spider-Man like first, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And the whole like image of Venom is based off of
Is
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
The big white eyes, the white
like-
logo that's on his chest.
That looks like a spider.
Yes, because he bonds with Spider-Man first. I
Right.
think, if I'm wrong, correct me at whatever. But he bonds
No,
with him
you're
first.
totally right.
I'm pretty sure I am. He bonds with him first, and then after that relationship is not symbiotic and is too evil for, or whatever the comic version of it is, they split off, but Venom finds Eddie, and he still keeps that form. So he has the big white spider, and he has the big white eyes, and he web slings, and he swings around. This Venom is like a Hulk. He's constantly jumping. He can't, like, stretch his arms. Like, he has, like, tendrils now and then when, like, Eddie is on the outside. Like, he'll have the tendrils fly out here and there. Like, the little wisps of it. But, like, nothing like Carnage could, but it's because of the evolution. But, like, it doesn't make sense to have Spider-Man without, or have Venom without Spider-Man. Just because, like, I mean, they made it work for their movie, but, like, that's why he has all those, like, white veins on him.
Yeah.
Because they don't have it can't just be a plain black big hulking goo, because it wouldn't look good. So they have to replace it with that.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. So which is why I think they just wanted to get to that after credit scene.
Now they get to the after credit scene.
Yeah. Which I was on Instagram, I saw that the after credit scene is going to be, like, legit. It's going to be the shit. And it was. But, I mean, it still just came kind of hokey.
So he's just like, I have all the
laying
knowledge of, like, billions of eons of, like,
they're on
all these different...
The movie ends, and they're on vacation, or whatever, in, like, Cabo, wherever the hell they are on a beach.
Yeah, I want to feel the wind through my hair and the sun in my toes.
Doesn't have any hair.
Wait, did he say sun in his toes or sand in his toes?
Sand in his toes. Because
there
was a shot at the end of
with his sand. At first, I thought it said sun in his toes, and I was like, "Wait, why does he want the sun in his toes?"
And then the movie just ends with a happy shot of them on the beach, like a married couple, on the honeymoon. And then it cuts away at credits, and then it comes back, and he's laying in bed at night, and they're just having a conversation. Yeah. And he's like, but what can you even do? What are you not? He's like, what are you not telling me? He's like, there's 80 million light years, billions of years worth of knowledge that you can't even comprehend. You will blow up. Like, your mind will be destroyed or whatever. He's like, okay, show me something. And of course, the one thing that he shows them, the entire room and world starts to glitch. Like, we're in freaking Into the Spider-Verse or whatever. It just starts it starts shifting and doing little glitches, and then it's immediately daytime. And on the screen, I knew immediately, because it's that same disgusting
J. Jonah Jameson.
It's that same disgusting green with Triple J giving his news report on Spider-Man has been revealed.
It's Peter Parker.
It's Peter Parker. And then Venom goes, that guy. And then he licks his face, and then it ends. So it makes sense, because Venom was attracted to Spider-Man because of all of his shit. So it's like he combined with that guy because of his power or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But, like...
Bro, imagine an Iron Man Venom. What would that look like?
What about a Deadpool Venom?
Ooh.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
That's a
threat. And he looks
fucking
sick.
Deadpool Venom?
Yeah.
What? Let me look this up.
It's just called.
Or
it's
like
just
a
Venom.
Hulk Venom.
Look up Venom Pool.
Venom Pool.
It's Deadpool. That looks like Venom, and he's just jacked to shit.
What the frick?
Yeah, he's cool.
That's crazy.
He's got, like, gigantic swords and gigantic guns. His face is almost like a... Because since he still has, like, the costume on, he kind of looks like... What's it called? Like Sack, or Ooga Booga or whatever from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
The Sack guy. Like, he's got, like, the staples on him, like, to keep it shut or whatever. Like, he's got, like, that same texture to it. Yeah, looks cool.
I can see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, Venom Pool's cool. But, like...
Venom Pool.
I'm curious as to where they'll go, because No Way Home already has a shit ton of people in it.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, they really want to get Venom into the MCU, huh?
Yeah. Well, that was their plan, because they have their contract or whatever with Marvel. Because technically it's a Sony product, but they have their Marvel contract, which is how Spider-Man is allowed to be in Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But
It's so interesting that they don't want to give him up.
why would they? It's a money pot for them.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, but
Sony is never going to give a Spider-Man.
They're never gonna give him up.
There is a thing going on right now, about the rights to Spider-Man might be going away.
What does that mean?
I can't remember which creator it was. Let me make sure. I need to type in rights loss. Nice one.
Keep it in there.
Oh yeah, it's not just Spider-Man. It's other Marvel characters as well. Is it? It's not. Okay, it is Steve. It is Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko, co-creator of Spider-Man, with Stan Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's obviously passed.
Yeah.
But like what the hell is the word? Like his estate is like there's a deadline for like the rights to these characters to need to be like renewed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For like use by Marvel or whatever, or whoever owns them. And like the Ditko estate is like heavily like contemplating not renewing the rights with Marvel or whatever and some other characters that he's created. I can't remember why they said why, but that's like the big thing going on right now.
They're always yanking Spider-Man around, bro.
It's not just Spider-Man though. It's other I think it's also Black Widow. I think it's also Falcon.
Who cares about Black Widow and Falcon?
Like
Nobody cares about them.
Blade. I think Blade as well. I care about Blade.
Blade as in like the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
They're making a Blade movie or whatever with Mahershala Ali is playing Blade.
Why do I feel like that's familiar?
Because you probably know him. You probably know the actor. He's quite famous. Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali.
So like Spider-Man could not be in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this guy. This is the guy from what's his face?
He's in a lot of things.
Luke Cage.
Yeah, it was Cottonmouth. He was also in Moonlight.
Yes.
He was also in he's in a lot of stuff. He's good.
That's why I knew his name.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch Luke Cage back in the day.
Yeah. But like, it's not just the rights for movies. It's the rights for comics and TV shows and video games.
The Prowler. Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not his straight voice though, so it's a little hidden if you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
He does that.
Yeah, I'm just looking at his credits.
Man, I'll let you down. He's got that. He's got that ground. Got that real like soft spoken like but gravelly whisper. I'll let you down, man. I'll let you down. That kind of thing.
Dude.
He's great.
He is great.
But this is going to suck if Spider-Man goes away.
Dude, it's so annoying.
Because we're not just losing movies. We're losing movies. We're losing comics. We're losing TV. We're losing video games. We're losing everything. If they don't renew the estate or whatever.
They better.
Okay.
Dude. People are going to be
the
outraged.
thing is that people want that money. So I have a feeling they'll do it.
Yeah.
Disney will throw as much money as they can at the estate of Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko to get it to go through because
just to get it, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
Especially after No Way Home, they're going to want Spider-Man rights.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the rumors are true and all the fake leaked footage is true and Toby and Andrew are back, I'm hoping my dream scenario is Toby and Andrew come back for No Way Home. Toby has one last little hurrah to right the wrongs that happened in Spider-Man 3.
Yes. He's going to dance again.
No, he's not. He's going to right his wrongs, and he's going to be an old, grizzled, weathered veteran Spider-Man, and he's going to be cool. and he's
Kind
gonna
of
be
like
the
the one
wise
in
one.
Into the Spider-Verse.
No, he was shit, and he was
I know,
washed
but
up.
he's gonna be like old and washed up, kind of.
Yeah,
like,
but he's
no?
gonna be wise and still strong and in shape.
You think so?
I hope
Okay,
so.
maybe. Okay, maybe. Yeah.
And then Andrew comes back, and then he's the Spider-Man, still in his prime, like early 30s, late 20s, like the version that dies in Spider-Verse,
Mm-hmm.
like the perfect version that he's at his peak of his career. Right. And then we have Tom Holland, who's still the young
Kid.
buck coming up, still no like solid Mary Jane or whatever, or Michelle or whatever the hell her name is.
Mm-hmm.
In that version. And then they fight Doc Ock and Electro and Sandman and the Lizard, and I don't know if Venom will show up. If anything, it'll be like a little tease for Venom 3 maybe. That's probably what it'll be. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because I can't see them throwing that many characters into one movie.
It would be a lot.
They're doing a Sinister Six thing, obviously, but I don't.
What do you mean Sinister Six thing?
Sinister Six is a group of villains that are like the rogues gallery of Spider-Man. So like you have Vulture, Doc Ock, like it's
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. It'll like there's an array of people that are the six. So like
the main
Doc
like,
Ock,
villains.
Vulture, Green Goblin. You got like Mysterio. You got the Lizard.
Sandman,
you got
maybe?
Sandman. You got Rhino. You like.
Yeah, Rhino.
There's a number of combinations. Black. No, she wasn't a part of it. She was her own.
Wasn't?
She was her own stick.
Okay.
And they had their own little love relationship for a little bit in the comics, and he tried to turn her good, and then blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But like, there's always a different combination of the Sinister Sticks. So like in No Way Home, we have Doc Ock, obviously. Hello, Peter. We have Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin. We have Sandman. People are thinking because in the trailer there's a shit ton of sand somewhere. We got Electro. We know that because we know Jamie Foxx is coming back.
Heck yeah.
Probably so he's coming from Andrew's universe, and Andrew's gonna have to follow him through or something. And then there's two more unannounced.
Dude, this film.
I know there's a lot that can go right, or there's a lot that can go really wrong.
Yeah, bro. They need to. Okay, bro. If this film is not at least minimum 2 hours, like
it's gonna that's the thing is like for the amount of characters in this movie, it's either gonna start immediately, and we're not gonna get a break, or it needs to be a longer film.
Yeah, yeah.
But from the way I think it's just gonna pick up from the end. I'm excited as well. I'm just hope people are getting their hopes up.
Yeah,
and people are really gonna be distraught if Toby and Andrew are not in it.
Dude,
they are gonna be so angry. I think it's the way they should go. I'm not getting my hopes up. My dream is to see Andrew back in the suit again, and then for some reason, if they don't have Tom Holland end up being the counterpart to this version of Venom. This version of Venom goes back to his universe, and he's in San Francisco, and meanwhile we could have Andrew come back if they have him back, which I hope they will, to do more Spider-Man, and then that version of Spider-Man can clash with Venom.
That'd be cool if they had two Spider-Mans.
Yeah. Because this version, like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, don't get me wrong, he's smart, whatever. He's got his little tricks.
He's got his little trinkets.
I don't think he can take Venom.
Little doodads.
I do not think he can take Venom. If Venom bonds with a Spider-Man, gets all of the shit from Spider-Man, the web slinging, the power, everything, the senses, all that shit, I do not think Tom Holland's Spider-Man could take him. He's too weak. He's
too squirrely.
He's too, like... He's still Junior. He's not Spider-Man to me. He's Spider-Boy.
Spider-Boy.
He's Spider-Boy. He's Spider-Kid. He's still, no matter how many times in the movie they try to show that he's having his Spider-Man swinging moment through the city, he hasn't deserved it for me yet. He's not at that point of where he's Spider-Man. Andrew's gotten there. Andrew's had those moments. I've seen those moments on screen. Toby has had those moments. I've seen those on screen. And they've had beautiful swinging scenes at the end of their movies to show that they're back or whatever and they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
Toby could probably even take on that version of Venom. It's like, if he could take on his version of Venom, he knows what he's doing. But I don't think Tom could do it. His version. At least the way they've been writing him. Seems like he's just always sad-faced, dependent on everybody else, no matter what the hell happens. He has good moments, but just the way that it's going, I don't see it working. But I just want Andrew back.
Spider-Man.
At least one more time.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man.
Into the multiverse.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm so down, dude.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I'm just hoping that the writers for Venom don't write Spider-Man the way they've written Venom so far.
Don't write Spider-Man the way they've written
Don't
Venom so
write...
far.
Like, if they do Venom 3 and it has Toxin and Spider-Man, or if it's just the Spider-Man movie and they're saving Toxin, or if they're saving Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is a part of a Sony Venom movie, please don't write that shit like you've written the last 2 Venom movies.
I see. So you're upset with the writing.
I'm upset with the writing. Yes, very much so. In both Venom movies, they both have their problems. For me, they're both movies to shut your brain off and just have fun and watch Venom destroyed shit. But it's like the first movie. They both just moved around in weird ways. The writing wasn't always on point, no matter how hard Tom Hardy was doing a great job as Eddie and Venom. I loved that. But the action always seems like it could have been better. It seems
a little bit
like
lackluster.
a little lackluster, like it could have gone somewhere more. And then the villain just kind of seems like average. Like it could have been something better. Like the first Venom was also another symbiote. Second Venom movie is Carnage. Yeah, I know you want to get to Carnage. But if they're going to do another symbiote as Toxin for the third Venom movie, it's getting repetitive. So if they need to switch it up, bring in Spider-Man. That's a great way to switch it up. And then maybe have them like work together to stop Toxin or whatever, and then things go south or whatever, and he becomes a full villain to Spider-Man or whatever.
Dude, imagine Spider-Man comes out in December, right?
December 20 or like 14th or something. I don't know. Yes, December.
Yeah.
So a lot of movies coming out in the next 3 months. A lot of good movies that I've been waiting for.
So we have about maybe, I don't know what, two
or so months, yeah.
2.5 months till they release it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so excited, bro. I can't even wait. I want to see it right now.
I do too. I've been holding back my hopes because I'm waiting for that moment. I'm really hoping the second trailer does not reveal Tom and Andrew, or Toby and Andrew. If it does, it's going to be like the final shot. It's going to be the money shot or whatever, where it's just all 3 of them standing. If they end up doing that for the second trailer. I'm really hoping they don't show anything.
I don't want them to show anything.
I don't want them to show their faces. You can tease the hell out of it for the people that pick through the trailers. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them just standing there. I don't want to see them in their suits. I don't want to see them fighting. I don't want to see them as Peters. I don't want to see it. If it's in there. If it's not in there, great. I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm trying not to get my hopes up for Andrew. But
yeah.
I think the story could be really good even without the other Spider-Man.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, just bringing in Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe and Jamie Foxx as Spider-Man villains, and Lizard, I think, was spotted in the trailer somewhere or whatever. 2 people from Andrew's and 2 people from Toby's.
Yeah, that'd be
So then
sick.
the other 2 would probably be from Tom. And people think Mysterio might come back or whatever, or something.
I need to watch that one. I didn't watch that one.
It was okay. It was good. It was a good Marvel movie. I've said that many times on this podcast.
Yeah, you have.
Marvel makes good superhero movies. They have not made a good Spider-Man movie for me. And I've said that before. I'm not going to go in it again because I could rant on Spider-Man all day, which I have in other episodes. But we do not have the time for that.
Yes,
but
we do not.
Final thoughts on Venom. Let There Be Carnage.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really...
No, you didn't. You let me rant. That's why I was saying. Say some things.
Hey, but the good thing is, like, I wanted to make sure that we filled the space. And then you had enough to say.
I had a lot to say.
You had a lot to say, and that's good because the thing is, I didn't really have too much to say. One, I thought it was a cool movie.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
cool.
it went by
it
really
was fun. It wasn't anything to write home about.
It went by really quick.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I looked up. I'm like, bro, it's already done. It literally soared by so quick. And I do agree with you on the points that it's just like, okay, there were some like Deus Ex Machina, like right place, right time kind of deal. Like, oh, let's just skip to this scene. Let me just hurry the story along. Like all of that stuff coming up, and then I did like the dynamic between Eddie and Venom and how Venom was actually hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny.
It's
It's
funny.
just, again, it's preference, and it's
Yeah.
wanting to see Venom as this lethal.
Yeah, he seemed a bit like squishy and kind of like a little bit of a doofus in a way, and not like too dangerous.
I think they did that to make Carnage seem more chaotic,
even more dangerous. Yeah.
Even though he was just kind of he cared about killing Venom, which sure, whatever. But Cletus's motivations, I think, could have been better. But
yeah. I mean, yeah. Overall, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it was about as good as the first one for me.
Yeah, I like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really watched too many of his films, but just I don't know. He seems like a cool guy.
I feel like I keep asking this every time. You've seen Fury Road, correct?
I have.
Okay, that's a good role.
film.
He doesn't speak much, but he does a lot with the character.
It is a good
He's very
film.
good. What else are good Tom Hardy movies? Have you seen Bronson?
No, I haven't.
Bronson. He plays Charles Bronson.
Is that a guy from New York or something?
No, he's British. It's a European criminal.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Really good. He was good as Bane, even if he wasn't a good version of Bane. He was still good as Bane.
He was Bane. Bane.
He was a version of Bane. Let's say that. Do you know who wants to play Bane? Like
What
a
is
legit
it?
version
Who is
of
it?
Bane?
Who?
Dave Bautista.
Oh, 100%
He wants
he
to
could do
play
it.
like a legit version of Bane, like the luchador, the hulked out from the Titan. He's smart.
With the green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
like
because Bane is smart too. He's not just like a big hulking or whatever. But he's been
Plays
trying to
mind
get
games.
that going. He's been trying to get a Gears of War movie going too.
ooh.
He turned down Fast and Furious to try and pursue a Gears of War movie.
Interesting.
Like they had a meeting with him, and they were like, "So we'd like to talk to you about Fast and Furious," and he pretty much said, "I'm not interested in that, but let's talk about Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War, because that's a movie he really likes to get. And he's in Gears of War 5. He's a playable person in the multiplayer. You can play as Dave Bautista.
That's
so like
awesome.
he really loves Gears of War. So
That's sick.
hopefully one of those projects can get off the ground, because he's been doing pretty good recently.
Heck yeah, dude.
But a topic for another day, if that movie
Yeah.
ever gets made.
Cool.
Last question, because
Last
this will
question.
dictate next week's episode. Do you care for James Bond?
James Bond.
James Bond.
I wouldn't say I particularly care for James Bond,
Yes.
but
Here's the other question. Have you seen any of the Daniel Craig Bond movies? There are 4 of them.
I think I might have seen one of them.
Okay. Was it a poker one?
You know what? I might have not seen
That's
any of them,
Casino
to be
Royale.
honest.
Because
I have not seen any of them.
I am going to see No Time to Die when it comes out.
No
on
Time
the
to
7th.
Die.
But
Okay.
if it is
Oh.
not something you are interested in
Yo.
seeing,
We need to actually. I wouldn't be able to do that. We need to record early next week because
Alright.
I'm going to Mexico on the 8th to the 10th.
okay.
So we wouldn't be able to even go do that Bond thing
All right.
because I'm going
That's
to
a
Mexico. Yeah,
When do you
It is.
leave?
the 8th, early
You
morning.
leave on the 8th.
Yes.
Okay. So
So
I could just go see the movie that night, and then we can record then, and then I can just mention my thoughts on it. If there was the time for it. If not, we can save it till next week.
what time on the 7th does it
I don't
release?
know. We will figure that out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't,
If
it
it
doesn't.
releases early-ish,
Hold on. What day is the 7th? Because I might be in
Thursday.
class.
That's a Thursday.
Oh, it is a Thursday. Let's look at the times for No Time to Die.
Because I'm going to Mexico to go build some houses again. Or a house.
Cinema City. Thursday the 7th. Load. Why do I have crap connection in my own house? There is a 4 p.m. It's the earliest showing they have on Thursday.
That might be doable then.
Yeah.
We could go see that.
I could maybe... Okay, so no, it is... Thursday is the opening day. Technically it comes out on Friday, but the earliest showing is 4 p.m. on the 7th. So, I'm not going to make you watch all 4 Bond films before this one.
No, I wouldn't.
I also don't want you to go into this movie without the knowledge of the previous one, since this is his final. So, I love Bond, which is why this is a big deal for me. And I love Daniel Craig's Bond. So, I could have a little short thing on it next week sometime. And then we can have another shit show. Because you have other topics that we did not get to. So,
do I now?
You do in Discord from what I saw. So, we will get to those probably next week.
Always have something.
Yeah, we'll have something. And then after that, there are more movies that we could always go see. Because this is a pretty packed couple of months.
Yes.
But we
honestly,
will get to that.
Our podcast is just a movie review podcast at this point.
I don't have a problem with that.
I don't really have a problem with it either.
What were we watching is what we should title it to. We should change it. What were we watching?
No.
What were we watching podcast?
No.
And then in the tagline, it'll be movies, and movies in between. I'll change the tagline.
Movies, and movies in between.
I'll change the tagline, yep.
It's probably the funniest thing you've said all day.
Thank you. I consider myself an average comedian in no way at all. But
cool.
More of my comedic genius for another time. Thank you, everybody, for watching this week's episode. I know we're a day late. We are a day late, but hey, we wanted to see Venom.
Yes.
To talk about and rant about and go on about every possible thing about it that we could think of in the time that we had. We did not talk about the music, and I'm going to say because it wasn't that interesting.
I don't even remember.
I don't either, and the problem is they got a new composer. The first movie had a great composer.
I always forget to pay attention to
Ludwig
the music
Göransson,
in films.
who did Mandalorian and a lot of things.
Göransson.
Yeah. You probably know him.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Because he's a pretty genius musician.
Dude, this is the dude who works with freaking Childish.
Yeah. They were roommates or whatever. Yeah. They were roommates in college or something. Yeah. Yeah, he does he scored The Mandalorian.
That's why I was so familiar.
He did Creed, I believe. He did the first Venom movie.
Yeah,
and the music was phenomenal. I loved. Yeah. Well, that's the same director as Ryan Coogler. Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff with Ryan Coogler. That's who he was roommates with. He was roommates with Ryan Coogler, not with Charles Gambino or Donald Glover. But
Wakanda forever.
Yeah, he's done a lot of really good things, but he didn't do the second Venom movie. The first movie, he did a really great soundtrack I really enjoyed, but they didn't get him back, so I was a little disappointed.
Dude.
But I just ranted again during the outro, so I'm gonna cut myself off, and I'm gonna say good morning, good afternoon, and good night. So thank you all for watching or listening wherever you are. Hit that follow, hit that subscribe if you would. And then, our reviews a thing. Reviews are a thing.
You can leave us one.
Leave us a review. I don't know how to do it, but you can leave us a review. I don't know if I have to turn them on or not. We'll figure it out. But until then, I have been Hunter Lopp, and the man across from the screen, over there
is Mark Croissant.
Has been Mark Croissant, also known as Mark Croissant. And
we will see you. This has been What Were We Talking About? Episode 20.
Yes.
We'll
episode
see you next week.
20. 20. And we will see you next week. Adios.
Adios.
Bye-bye.